So my name is Daniel. Sarah's my fiance. Um, right now, as my life has the most meaning that it's ever had, and like where things are right now seems to make everything before it makes sense somehow. Um, I didn't know if I was ever going to get the chance to be the person I get to be today. I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be, doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Um, wasn't always that clear that that anything like this would be possible. Um, and saying that feels self-congratulatory, but the fact remains that I'm grateful to be here right now, poised to live this way with Sarah and Team New Edition and Sue and other people. And it's just crazy how I've kind of just fit seamlessly into here. Been a lot of very disparate places in my life, a lot of extremes. So what am I trying to say? I just wanted to say something. I know, obviously, it's cool to have to joke around and stuff, and but I don't want it to go without saying that like this means more to me. This means everything to me. This makes everything mean something. I'm grateful to be sober today and to be mentally well. My life has been impacted by addiction and mental illness, and that has caused me to impact other people's lives in ways. That was largely due to the lack of knowledge, the lack of awareness, the lack of insight that I had before a diagnosis and receiving treatment and getting sober, and the stigma surrounding that perpetuates the kinds of states that people get in where they're cut off from everybody, and there's no that saving grace. And I'm grateful for the saving grace that was extended to me. So it's very meaningful to me to be in a position to see those opportunities, because I felt the way I was impacted when people made those small gestures along the way. And yeah, I'm afraid. I got fear, um, but also I I have a sense that I've faced certain things that allow me to know that there's something beyond fear. You know, some meaning, some reason, whatever's there, whatever's there, beyond fear. Um, you know, and happiness, sadness. There's something beyond happiness and sadness. Um, and um, I don't know. I just wanted to say something, see where this goes, let it go where it needs to. Not really knowing exactly what it is, but I guess I just wanted to say that I love Sarah. she's showed me a freedom that has allowed me to be who I really am, and in all the different ways that people can be who they are, um, and through all the different masks we wear, and it's kind of like, just with that freedom, I've learned or gotten in touch with something that may have already always been there, and maybe I just couldn't see it, and so in that way, it's shown me something. I just try to avoid like pop psychology words, like validation or like being seen and stuff, because they kind of lose their meaning after a while. But the truth is, there is something to be said for being visible, for having eyes to see, for finding people with eyes to see. And Sarah has eyes to see, and she sees me in a way that I don't feel like anybody else really has. And as close as I've gotten to people, or as close as people have thought they've gotten to me, and that's not without trying. That's not without me wanting to keep people at a distance. All kinds of reasons for that, of course. A lot of them to do with fear, and the fear of vulnerability. It's so it's like safe to be vulnerable now. Like you get credit for being vulnerable. But that just like adds a dimension to it, and it creates a buffer zone too. Something else that you can hide behind. You can hide behind being vulnerable. And I know that I know how to say the right things at the right times, but that's such a torturous existence. When I first started going to recovery meetings, or just with church, or just getting into therapy, I thought it was about like saying the right words, the right combination of things, believing the right things, checking off all the things that I was supposed to do, and then maybe I would eventually get to be a real person. And I haven't really felt like a real person until this year. Things just seem to have kind of crystallized for me, and that happened leading up to being ready to meet Sarah. I was single and isolated with my cat, making music in my apartment for like 5.5 years. Well, big chunk of that was like having an apartment for myself for my first time, and getting out of the state hospital. I was in the state hospital for a long time, and going through school and all that, and had a lot of anxiety, had a lot of feeling under the microscope a lot, because in a sense I was. And anyways, like, this is supposed to be about me, but I guess this video, maybe it needs to be about me a little bit in order to to show, to put the spotlight on Sarah. And I've never known anyone like her, or like, she's just helps everyone, like, and it's kind of like, and I get kind of upset about it sometimes, because I know what that's like to see. I've seen, like, my mom gave so much, like she put up with so much from my dad, and so many years, where she could have, you think that she could have had a life of her own or something like that, or gotten to a safe place, or had respite from the kind of treatment she was subjected to by my dad. But I can't take that from someone, wanting to help, to be helpful, to care, even though it kills you. you know, because something I learned from Sarah that I know about Sarah that's very important to her is helping others, is her medicine. And so for me to cop a resentment saying, she's spreading herself too thin or something like that, wouldn't be right, because that's what keeps her soul alive. That's what feeds her heart. Um, and and I know that there's nothing stopping that from being life-giving, because I know what it feels like to give something needed, and to suddenly find yourself as being able to do that. When so much of my life I never saw myself as being capable of having the strength or the courage or anything really to give that would matter or that would solve any kind of problem or meet any kind of need. And that's something that Sarah's love has shown me, is that all that fear that was stopping me from being who I can be, it's unnecessary and is no longer serving me. I feel ready to be here, and I want to be here. And I love Sarah, and I know she loves me. And I'm so grateful to be so accepted and to fit so seamlessly in with our people, with Team New Edition. Like, it's a beautiful thing to be here, and to and for shit to be so crazy, but to feel so fucking happy. And like, happiness, of course, is the wrong word. It's joy. It's like my capacity for pain and suffering is also what makes this possible. And it's the ways that, any credit of my own, it's like facing those things that I at least wanted to face has allowed me to be able to let go of those things that I found and be open to this. Sarah and I have had parallel journeys in a lot of ways. We went through things that were horrible, and both things that happened to us and things that we did, places that we've been, things we've seen, and somehow, like, just whatever the nature versus nurture of that is, getting to a place and crossing paths in a way where we're both ready for this. We're ready to see what happens when we come together. And that's what this whole journey's been about, is so tomorrow we go to the fertility clinic for the next step in getting some eggs frozen. And it's been crazy to go through the process of making that happen. We got told no, and don't bother a lot, in ways that it's to Sarah's credit that we're still doing this, because me being so practical and like so trusting of like medical professionals, I would have just said, oh, I did, that's it. They told me what reality is. But Sarah didn't stop there, and it's to her credit that we're going forward with this. And I'm grateful that she pushes me in ways that that are uncomfortable for me. But I know the danger of being comfortable and being too safe, and I only hope that anything I can bring from my natural inclinations, or the ways that I've learned to cope with uncertainty and all those things, that can hopefully balance things out in a helpful way, because she certainly pushes me in helpful ways. I'm just really fucking stoked to see what happens when we come together. And And I say it like that for a reason, because it's unknown. We can't say, we can't expect, we can't feel entitled to something, but we can be ready for it, for whatever it is that happens. And to be willing, to have the willingness, and we're doing everything we can, um, in alignment with that willingness, to see what happens, um, when we are open and listening to, whatever it is that's telling us to do this, whatever it is inside, or whatever it seems to be that is, makes this make sense to do, like whatever it is, it's kind of like, well, it is, it is something beyond us, in a sense, in one way or another, if I could say that in like a metaphysical way, or a way that I even say I even feel uncomfortable saying, because it even sounds misleading when I hear it, but that doesn't mean that it can't actually be that way. And it doesn't mean that if it's that way, it's not also other ways more practical or whatever. It doesn't mean that things can't be, different levels can't be compatible or can't coexist, or be parallel, blah blah blah. Anyways, so yeah, I just wanted to be vulnerable in a very unsafe way, to face the danger of sitting in a car, in the parking lot. And so we'll see what we can find out tomorrow. Next step, we got some green lights and a lot of uncertainty coming up. Things are in the air. It's crazy. We don't know exactly where we're going to land, but we're jumping anyways. And we got some things that might come through, and we've been, on the telephone and writing emails, responding to emails and calls and stuff. Anyways, I really hope that I haven't belabored any points, but my main point being is, I love you, and Sarah loves you, and Sarah, it's really important, and I think it's a really beautiful thing that Sarah wants to do, for what she has to say, for her experience. And I just hope to be here in the way that I'm supposed to be here, and that seems to be working, that seems to be providing something real. And I'm just grateful that I get to be here, and I get to be here with Sarah, and we get to face this together. So yeah, I love you.